The market isn't there to instruct you, to tell you anything. The market is there just basically to serve you when you want it to serve you. You know, one of the most important things to remember in stocks, very hard to do, but people have all these feelings about it. The stock doesn't know you own it. You know, you're sitting there with these certificates for Berkshire. The company doesn't even know you own it, you know, and the stock doesn't. It's trading now and they don't know you own it. So it has no feelings about you. I mean, you've got all these feelings about it, but it's just part of a business. If Berkshire is worth 75,000 times 1.5 million shares, you know, roughly 110 billion or something like that, it's a good investment. If it isn't, it's a lousy investment, you know, and you have to value the business. And Graham, you know, it's amazing, but people don't do that in Wall Street. You hear price targets or that kind of thing, but you'd see no one write a paper that says, here is the nature of this business over the next 20 years. You know, what should that business sell for? Forget about what it's selling for. In fact, one of the things I always like to do when I'm looking at investments is I like to look at them without knowing the price. Because if you see the price, it automatically has some influence on you. If you just sit down with the reports, if I get an idea about looking up a company and I get the 10Ks and so on, I would rather not know the price because I'd rather value it without knowing the price. When I used to handicap horses when I was a kid, one of the things I would do is I'd get the racing form ahead of time. And if there were 9 horses in a race, we'll say, obviously the probabilities of each one winning the race had to add up to 100%. I mean, one horse was going to win the race absent a dead heat or all of them dropping dead on the backstretch. So if you went through the racing form and I would look at the 3rd race at Hialeah, I would try to figure out the percentage chance of each horse winning the race, and that had to add to 100%. Then I would compare those percentages to the odds. But first of all, I wouldn't look at the odds first. I would look at the past performance and all of that thing first. Stock market's the same way. Third thing in Graham's book is the margin of safety. If you come up to a bridge and it says capacity 10,000 pounds and you're driving a 9,800 pound truck, you drive down further and find another bridge. I mean, you know, nobody knows exactly what that capacity is, and sign may have been put up 3 years ago. So you always leave a margin of safety. You don't try to cut things that close. You wait till something kind of shouts at you in the stock market. And with those 3 principles, you can build all kinds of structures on that. But that's the foundation. And if you've got that in mind, and that's in the Intelligent Investor, I've never found anything that remotely compares with it.